Amaka, thank you for joining us and great reporting you have been doing on the ground so far. Let me begin from where you stopped in that report because the numbers are different wherever you look. The governor insists that 17 of the boys have returned. Do you have any further information on this?
All right, thank you so very much. We don't have any further information. What we do know, again, is still stands at the fact that 4 students are the ones that have returned. This morning, they had a press briefing, and those are some of the conversations that we're having. And parents are still angling and saying, "Where are the 17? Where are they that no one can see them, or no one out of the 17 can come out so far and say, well, I'm the newest." I mean, if there's anybody, it will be the 5th person, and then the counting will begin from there. But no, what we still do know is that there are 4 that have returned, even though the state government is insisting on 17. Parents, at least in Kankara, have not seen the 17. The principal cannot say there is any 17. We do not know where these 17 are, this alleged 17 of a number.
Amaka, while we're reconciling numbers, let's reconcile a few more facts, or at least try. We know at the beginning that the government were alleging that they had just a few hours they would have the children back, and now we're more than a couple of days on, and we still don't know if they're closer to returning them. Then there's also the issue of Boko Haram taking responsibility, and then we're being told that no, these are propagandists trying to take advantage. So on those 2 issues alone, could you help us if you know any more information that could shed some light on those issues, Amaka?
Indeed, there are conflicting stories, when it comes to the naming and the who. From the government end, yes, I mean, the governor himself said it, that they are bandits. When we went to the village, the people said that they are bandits. Let me give you further information, which we got from the young boy we interviewed yesterday. He also mentioned, in his description, he said that they are all Fulani. That's what he said. And he said, when we asked him, do you think they are terrorists? Do you think they are Boko Haram? I mean, his uncle jumped into the conversation and said, no, they are not Boko Haram. He also said they are not Boko Haram. He gave us a further description. He said that the people that they saw, who came for them, these people who marched them out of the school, were actually very young boys. In fact, he said it in a manner like, he said, they are even my age mates. But the problem is that they had guns, and so we couldn't do anything. And that also corroborated the story that we had with the first one that we established contact with, the first student that we talked to. He also mentioned the same thing. In fact, he said to us that some of them are way younger than him. And some of them are 17, some could be 14, some could be 15, But because they had guns, there was nothing that they can do. That if they didn't have weapons, they would most definitely overpower them. So, there's that controversy. We can't say, I mean, yes, we do know that Shekau and his group said they are the ones responsible. But even from the things we've heard, speaking to the people outside of Katsina, outside of Ankara, going to the town of Katsina, they've always said, that this look like a bandit attack. And again, I must add that if you know Kankara, Kankara is an area that is actually is a stronghold for bandits, if I may put it that way. From Kankara towards Zango, towards Damosa, towards Ruwango, they are the areas that go further, are places that are really, really prone to banditry attacks. Remember that before this Kankara incidents, that there have been several attacks, bandit attacks, which again, the parents that we speak to say, that's why they are worried that the state government should have known better, that, these areas, they've had series of bandit attack. And so what they say, which is what we are reporting, is that they are believing that this is not Boko Haram. They also say that, that, this is just maybe Shekau and his group trying to make a name for themselves, if I put it loosely that way, that they certainly believe that it's a bandit attack.
And Amaka, just to hear that these are gun-wielding bandits, some of them even young, and you know how restless they can be. The safety of the kid is definitely paramount. Assurances have been given that all options will be on the table by the military and by the government. But are the parents encouraged by this development? One can only imagine the anguish and anxiety they are going through, but are they encouraged by the assurances being given by the government?
I mean, that's why I just finished speaking off with the SA to the governor on security matters, Ibrahim Katsina. And, what he said is that, yes, assurances have been given. We assure the people of the safe return of their children. We know that they are all safe. No one is sick. We've not had any, we've not had any reports of anyone being sick or dead. The governor also said it in one of the publications that, that went out. But, hey, we were on ground yesterday. And at this one, it is even emotionally draining to listen to these women, to see them. I mean, I don't know whether we have that clips played, but one of them broke down, speaking to us, saying to me, imagine you have a brother and you have a son in captivity, and they are giving them dirty water to drink. They are eating grass to survive. The parents are not. Adesua, they are not encouraged at all. They are not. The frustration is even, growing by the day. And I think the pain as well, the anguish of not even knowing where your son is, you don't know whether he's going to come back alive. The ones who came back shared exact story of saying, look, we had to eat grass to survive. These folks asked us to call our parents. If your father is rich, call your father. If your father brings money, we are going to release you. That's the kind of threat that they were facing. And if your father does not have money, we're going to kill you. So imagine the trauma. And, these parents are also vicariously traumatized. Having to hear this and process it, I tell you, even myself, every time I talk to the parents and I come out, I feel, drained. The parents are not encouraged, to say the least. They just want answers. They want their children back, really, however way, whichever way the state is going to do it. That's all they're asking for.
Yes, and Amaka, you're right. Just watching you doing the reporting, I had a sense that you were feeling a bit drained as well. But I just want to go back to the first part of the question I asked in terms of encouragement as well. How much progress do you know that they're making with regards to the negotiations? Very briefly, if you could tell us.
Okay. All right. We don't have any information whether the negotiation is going on. There's a publication that we saw this morning from the governor, which he sent to one of the media houses, and he said they are negotiating, but he doesn't want to. They are not negotiating in money, in monetary terms. We don't know what that means. He said they are negotiating through Mieti Allah. We also don't know what that means. Those are some of the questions that we really want him to answer, but we've not been able to, reach him. We don't know what sort of negotiation it is, and we don't know how far. We just have, the word from the governor to say we are negotiating through Mieti Allah, and that they will come back safely. We don't know what that means concretely and clearly.
Amaka, thank you. Behind you looks calm and safe, and we do hope that you stay safe. Amaka Okere, our correspondent in Katsina State.